4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, yo? We back. It's been a while. What's up? What's happening, y'all? So we was on vacation, and then we had health and safety protocols. So both those things kind of influenced what we was doing around here. But we're back. That's all that matters. The trade show is back. How y'all doing? I'm good. We back. We healthy. All that stuff. We just ready to get some more content out there for y'all. So I ask y'all what's popping. Yeah. Give you a second to comment down below. What's up? While you're down there, you should drop a like on the video. It only takes like a few seconds, and subscribe, because that's really important. I've heard, not really an expert. I just watch like 12 hours of YouTube a day. So y'all should like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff. We had to bring out the Braves hat for the day, and let's just get back into it. It's been a while. What's up? What'd you guys get for Christmas? Hope you guys have a happy new year and all your resolutions are going well so far. Comment down below what you guys have for Christmas. Yeah, let's start there. Over the little Christmas, all that stuff. Made some purchases, had to get a little icy on them. So let's just go right into that. Oh no, wait, first of all, we got some bills to pay. So this podcast was gonna be on all platforms soon. I think it might already be, or it's in the works, not really sure. But the Trey Show, House of Wolves podcast, all that stuff is gonna be on Spotify, SoundCloud podcasting. I think it might be on Apple service, not too sure. In the near future, all that's gonna be taking place. So if you're an audio listener only, we got you guys covered in the future. But just a little announcement, all that stuff is coming soon. It's already in progress, or it might already be done. I'm not really sure. But all that stuff is getting taken care of. So if you're an audio listener and you don't want to see my little ugly ass face, I understand. I don't want to see it either. We'll be on all platforms soon. So with that being said, let's get into some cops real quick. First of all, we have this bad boy right here, Gatorade GX bottle. It's blue and pink. It's showing up purple on the video, but it's blue and pink. And GX pods. I just saw this, thought it was cool. I've always wanted to try it, and now we get to try it. So you just pop the little tab up there. This is not sponsored, by the way, unless Gatorade wants to sponsor me as a non-athlete. As someone who talks about sports. Don't think they do that, but if y'all wanted to, I'm just saying, you could have this slot right here. Gatorade, we're helping. If y'all not sponsored, unless tag Gatorade. Tag them. You open the little top up there. This is ASMR. Hi. Open the top up, and then you put the little pod, put it here, and then you just gotta press it down on there. It's hard to do stuff from behind the camera, so there we go. And as you see, it all just kind of went into there. Throw this in the trash. Close your bottle. Give it a nice little shake. And now you have Gatorade. So, I really like this product. Something I use every day. And the water bottle, they're cool. It's 30 ounces, so it's not small. And they do shoot like the other Gatorade bottles. So, drink Gatorade. Remember those commercials that they would slam the Gatorade down? I always hated those because I just felt like they wasted all the Gatorade. Like, don't waste it. It's all over the table. I'm refreshed. Okay. Next cop is going to be, let's start with the ones I've worn. Yeezys. 380s. This is the mist pair, I want to say. I've worn them. I've put some miles on these already. I got these for a deal. I bought these used for $140. So $160 after shipping and all that. This is the reflective pair. See if I can't get them to reflect. Might be too much light. Let me see. Let's see. Nah, it's not doing it. No, it's not lighting. It's not reflecting. But this is the reflective pair. And yeah, 140 for the reflective pair is a steal. And if we're gonna be honest, this is by far the most comfortable shoe that I've ever worn. Oh, you can see it a little bit here off to the side. Oh yeah, look at that. It's reflecting. There it is. Yeah. This is by far the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. After I bought these and wore them, I was just like, oh, I need more pairs of these. Like, it's an issue. Excuse me. Gatorade. Yeah, so definitely got to get more pairs of these. I need a haircut as well. As you can see there, 380s. Most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. Get you a pair. A lot of them are good priced. If they're not good priced in your size, try to get one retail. But you should definitely be copping one of those. Next on my list, I got my Satisfy gaming grip finally. Just caught it today. In that video, I have a video about that. It's gonna be out today at some point. Or not today, I filmed it today, but it's gonna be out at some point, I'm guessing. Here it is, we're playing some Mario on it. Ta-da. Yeah, so great grip, you know, Satisfy. Their products are amazing, which is why everyone was willing to wait for as long as we did. But it's just a great product, and I'm excited. I bought Pokemon, the pink one. I don't know the names, guys. I'm sorry, but I bought that one, and I've just had it unopened this whole time, just waiting to play it. So I'm excited to be able to get to play it now that I got the grip. And I didn't want to play it on the TV because I bought the OLED. And the OLED, the only point of the OLED is to have it be the OLED screen. Like, so when you put it on the dock, it defeats the whole purpose. So I just wanted to play it on the console. So I can finally do that. Next on the list, and the last little show and tell item that we have is the cool gray 11s. You know, my pair's still dead stock. Had to pick these up. This is an amazing shoe. I don't know if you can tell, but the quality of this shoe is absolutely A1. Not a flaw on it. The patent leather is good, as you heard there squeaking. But this is just one of the most quality shoes that I think JB has ever made. Shoe is flawless, and it's easily one of my favorites of the year. So that's all we got for you guys. As I cop more stuff, we'll start doing this probably every show. I'll just show something off that I bought because I'll be buying stuff a lot because I have problems. So, you know, y'all like it. Stay tuned. Let's go. So, it's been, what, since the end of the regular season? So, the Raiders snuck into the playoffs. Week 18 was amazing. Let's see. Week 18 was amazing. The Raiders snuck in the playoffs. The Eagles made the playoffs. Let's just get right into the divisional round. So the first divisional game was a Bengals win over the Titans, 19-16. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times in this game, and the Bengals still won. And the concerning thing about it is that the Bengals, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times because of their inability to block like stunts, right? And the Titans had the second best pass rush, I think, in all of the playoffs behind the Rams. And it's just not an issue where they don't have a home game the rest of the season, right? And so when they're going into Kansas City this weekend, and we'll get to that, but their inability to communicate to block stunts is something that I think is going to be something to watch out for in this game against Kansas City at the least. And but through it all, Joe Burrow stayed just calm and cool. Cool Joe, that's kind of what they call him. Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr. You know, he has a bunch of names already. That's how great he is. He just stayed cool, and at the end, he was able to hit Jamar Chase on that. It wasn't like I think it was like a double move, inside out move on the sideline to get them in field goal range. Excuse me. And for the Titans were able to lose because of Ryan Tannehill. So the Titans got Derrick Henry back for this game. It was first game since Halloween, and he didn't look healthy at times. It just looked like he was a half step slow. But then at other times he looked really good. And the thing that really stood out, though, was that backup Donta Foreman had 4 carries for 64 yards, and Derrick Henry had like 17 carries for 40-something yards. And it just felt like Foreman should have got the ball more. You know, you want to get Derrick Henry involved. And it almost felt like the whole game, the Titans were kind of just saying, like, we need to get Derrick Henry in shape for next week. But when you play like that, there was no next week. Ryan Tannehill had a huge part in that. He threw 3 interceptions. And the first one was on the very first play of the game. He just stared Julio down, and Jesse Bates, an all-pro safety, just jumped the pass and made the pick. The second interception was an amazing play by Mike Hilton. So it was an RPO, or a screen pass. Tannehill tried to get the ball out to the flat. Mike Hilton jumped the route, tipped the ball into the air, and was able to catch it. And then the last one was the worst one that Tannehill had. He forced a pass with 45 seconds left in a situation where they could have just taken it to overtime or had a game-winning drive themselves. But he throws that interception. Joe Burrow gets the ball back and wins the game. I don't know what the Titans do. I think the Titans and the Colts are in pretty similar situations where they try to get a Band-Aid at quarterback, and that Band-Aid cost them both their chances at a Super Bowl, when I think that both rosters are capable of making a deep playoff run. And now I think the Titans and the Colts are both just wondering, where's our franchise quarterback? And for the Colts, you know, it hurts a little more. You had your franchise quarterback, and he walked away right when the team was getting this good. And that sucks, but, you know, it's been 3 years since then, right? Yeah, it's been 3 years since Andrew Luck retired. Can't fault him. He did what was best for him and his family. So can't fault him for that. The next game was the Packers and the 49ers. The Packers and the 49ers, it was a situation where I felt like the 49ers were obviously playing better. They were hotter. But the Packers were at home, so it's in Lambeau Field. And the 49ers ended up winning 13-10. But I, all week, just felt like the 49ers were just going to play cold. You know, they're going up to Lambeau, California team. I just felt like the difference would be they would play cold. And that's what happened. Jimmy G looked horrible. Rodgers came out pretty good. Unfortunately for him, he had a huge pass to Aaron Jones up the sideline right before the half. And the unfortunate part about that is in field goal range, the 49ers blocked the field goal. And so instead of being up, it might have been 13 at that point. Or no, instead of being up 10-0 at halftime, it was only 7-0. And, you know, eventually the score ends up 10-3 with no time left. No, 10-3 with about 4 minutes left. The 49ers are, you know, stopping the Packers, and likewise, other than a field goal on both sides. And 4 minutes left. The Packers are punting near their own end zone, and the 49ers blocked the punt and returned it for a touchdown. And that was the game, you know. That made it 10-10. Aaron Rodgers, the whole second half, just played like he was scared, like he didn't want to throw any picks. And we've seen that before from Rodgers. That seems to be his go-to. It's just playing safe, not to turn the ball over. He wants that record. That'll be his thing. But in games like this, it'll cost him, you know. So it cost them here. They lost 13-10. And the Niners move on. And it's crazy to say this about an NFC Championship team, but I don't know how good the 49ers are. Like, I personally don't believe that the 49ers are that great of a team. And, you know, that opinion might come back to bite me later if they win the Super Bowl, which I think they're capable of. But I'm also not calling them a great team. I don't understand it either. It's just kind of the vibe that I get. But, you know, I don't know. Who am I? Nobody. You know. The next game on the docket was the Rams and the Bucks. The Bucks ended up losing this game 30-27, but it wasn't for lack of trying. The Rams were up in this one all game. Yeah, I think it was 27-3 at one point, 1 point shy of 28-3. Falcons fans, that one was just for you. 28-3, 27-3 at one point. And after that, the Rams just decided they didn't want to play football today. They had a couple fumbles, a few fumbles in a row, just turnovers on turnovers. And one that really stood out was turnovers, and then the Bucks made it 27-20. And Cam Akers fumbled. The Rams were trying to run the clock out to just win the game. Cam Akers fumbles with, I think, like a minute left, 2 minutes left. And the Bucks get the ball back. A play or two later, Brady throws a bomb to Mike Evans, and it's against Jalen Ramsey one-on-one. Brady throws the bomb, it's a touchdown. And, the Rams obviously shell-shocked at this point, but the reason why they got rid of Goff for Stafford is for situations like this. And what happens? Cooper Kupp gets open right up the seam. Jared Goff was at home. Matthew Stafford throws the bomb. It connects, and the Rams kick a game-winning field goal. It's as simple as that. I think the better team won. Unfortunately, the Bucks had injuries at a bad time, and now we just wonder what's next. Is Brady going to be on the team? Are they going to get Godwin back? You wonder, is he going to take a team-friendly deal because of his injury, or is he going to test free agency? I think there's teams that will still be willing to pay him even after his ACL injury. But who knows, man? We'll see. But the Rams move on, and they play the 49ers. And the last game was the best game of the weekend, and that was Chiefs and Bills. Neither team played defense. This game was pretty similar to that 54-50 game that we saw. Or was it 54-52? 54-56. Whatever. You know what game I'm talking about. Why am I doing this? The Rams and the Chiefs game from a couple years ago, where it's just no defense. Whoever had the ball last was going to win. And that's really how this game was for the most of the game. Josh Allen played out of his mind. Gabriel Davis had 3 touchdowns, had his best game of his life in this playoff game. But through it all, you just knew that whoever got the ball last was going to win. And unfortunately for Buffalo, the team that got the ball last was the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes drives them down the field with 13 seconds, kick a game-tying field goal. You go to overtime. The Chiefs kick a field goal. Get a touchdown to win. And a lot of people after this game were talking about the overtime rules and that they should be college overtime rules and, just stuff like that. And I don't think college overtime rules are the solution, especially in this situation, just because the defenses weren't stopping anything. Joe Burrow was part of that game that was like 75-74 a couple years ago between LSU and Arkansas, Mississippi State, 2 SEC schools, and it was 75-74. They went to like 7 overtimes, and I can see that. I think that would have happened last night, because neither defense could get a stop, and it just wouldn't have been a good situation. So I'm glad that those aren't the rules. I think there are some interesting ideas. I think it can be something like college basketball, where there's like the possession era, and whoever wins can do that. Or I think it could be similar to at kickoff, you can receive or defer. I think you could be like, I want the ball first in overtime. Just do it that way, and then if you go to overtime, it works out. And if you don't, you don't. But at least if you do, you get to choose that. And I don't think that it's an easy fix, I think anytime you talk about rules and overtime rules, I don't think it's an easy fix. But in a game like that, you knew that whoever was going to win the kickoff, the coin toss was going to win the game. Whoever kicked off was kicking off like their season. And I think that's unfortunate. And I think there can be things that are tweaked, but I don't know what you can actually do about that, because you don't want to change the rule and make it unfair. Like someone said, the home team always gets the ball, and that's just a disadvantage either way. But I feel like if you know that you're not going to get the ball, it's going to change how you play the game. And I think that would be good. We would have less overtime if a team scores a touchdown down 7 and they know that they would have to kick in overtime. I think we would have less overtime games that way, you know. But, you know, I don't know anything. I just talk about sports. So let's talk about the 2 games we have this weekend. The Bengals and the Chiefs. So the Bengals played the Chiefs already this year, and that was an amazing game. It was 34-31. The Bengals beat the Chiefs. That was in the jungle, week 14 or 15, 16, somewhere around there. And Joe Shiesty had one of his best games. But the story was Jamar Chase. You know, they refused to double team him, and so he had 266 yards on the Chiefs. You know, nothing major. That definitely, I think they play him differently this time. I think you would see a bracket. However, but Tyrann Mathieu could not play. He didn't play last week. He got knocked out of the game due to concussion, so he may not play this week. I think that would change how they attack the Bengals defense. I mean, the Bengals offense. But this will be a great game. I think Mahomes and the Chiefs, they do this. It might be too big. The moment might be too big for the rest of the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow will be fine. It's just about, will they protect him? And, you know, that's an issue. We knew that, though. That's established. But what can they protect him, and what can they do? Because I think you're going to have to score. You know, you don't beat the Chiefs in a low-scoring game. So you're going to have to score. I think Joe Mixon is going to have a great game. You're going to have to keep Mahomes on the sideline, and that's just how you're going to have to attack this team. But it's hard to pick a team in this one because my heart is, you know, for Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. But I think the Chiefs will win this game. I'm going to go 38-34 Bengals. I mean Chiefs. I mean Bengals. I mean Chiefs. 38-34 Chiefs. I think it'll be a great game. The Bengals are just getting started, and the Chiefs are still the juggernaut. I think they're still the favorite. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game. And the second game is probably more intriguing. It is Rams and 49ers. The interesting thing about this game is that the 49ers, I mean, the Rams are probably the better team, but the 49ers kind of own the Rams. You know, they've won the last 6 or 7, 8 games against the Rams. So, you know, divisional games. However, you know, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. You know, the Saints found that out last year against the Bucks. Like, you own them in the regular season, but it's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially in the playoffs when they know what you're trying to do. And I think the team that loses has the advantage. Like, that's what it looked like in Week 18 too. You know, it looked like they hadn't figured out until the end of that game. And then, you know, once a team gets hot, it's hard to really stop them. But I think the Rams are playing with more confidence. I think they're the better team here. The 49ers, I don't trust Jimmy G. I think this is the game where it finally catches up to them that he's their quarterback. You know, Jimmy G is by far the worst quarterback in the playoffs still. I think it goes Mahomes, Burrow, Stafford, and then Jimmy G. Maybe even Trey Lance over Jimmy G. We'll find that out next year. But I'm going to take the Rams to win this game 31-17. I don't think it'll be a really close game. Like the last one wasn't really particularly close until the end of that game. So I'm going to take the Rams to win 31-17. And so that would set up a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl. I think that's what the NFL wants if they could pick. Just because, you know, they get to show that game from 3 years ago, 2 years ago, all over. Get to watch it all week. Get to talk about it. I think it'll be a good game if those 2 teams play. I would love a Bengals and Rams game. I think that ultimately whoever wins the AFC Championship will win the Super Bowl. But that's just me and what I think. So now let's get into some drama. All right, so off jump, let's go ahead and start with the sad shit, right? At least for me. I need a drink first. Wish it was alcohol. The Saints, will no longer have a head coach. Sean Payton retired. Retired this past week. He's stepping away from the team, and obviously, it's bittersweet. Sean Payton brought the Saints to the Super Bowl. He's been the constant, with Drew Brees leaving or retiring, all the injuries and stuff. Sean had arguably his best coaching performance this last year, 9-8 with a team that I think anybody else in the league would have only won 4 or 5 games with. Payton still won 9 games with his team. He moves on. I think that he ends up with Dallas next year. Just waiting for Mike McCarthy to mess up. The only good thing as a Saints fan is that we have his rights. So maybe they have to give us a couple of picks for Sean, and I'm cool with that. I'd be cool with that. We deserve the compensation. So that's the first part, is he's no longer the coach. I have no clue what's going to happen because, without Sean, obviously we don't get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. I think that's the first part. Would Jameis Winston come back without Sean Payton here? I have no clue. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I just have to trust Mickey Loomis, the GM, which I do. I mean, he is the GM that brought Sean and Drew Brees in, so I have all the trust in the world in him. So I just have to trust him to do his job. The first head coaching vacancy was filled, and that was Nathaniel Hackett to the Broncos, Packers offensive coordinator. This move is interesting because he is the Packers offensive coordinator. He was. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be available this offseason. And the teams that he wanted to go to last year were Vegas and Denver. So the fact that both Hackett, who's Aaron Rodgers' boy, is in Denver now just screams that Denver did this to really try to get Rodgers. And I don't think that's a surprise. I think that's what they should be doing. They have a good defense. We saw that this year, but their quarterback play was just horrendous. Teddy had his worst year, and when he was injured, Drew Lock did Drew Lock things. And so Aaron Rodgers is the best thing for that football team, and he gives them the best chance to win. So they made the right choice by trying to do everything that they can to bring him in. The Dolphins fired Brian Flores in what was a power struggle. I don't think this is because of anything on the field. Obviously, he was a great coach, but at the end of the day, he didn't want Tua, didn't believe in Tua. And in that front office, I think that they did, and that's ultimately what lost him his job. Let's just go through the list here. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing anything. The Raiders have narrowed it down to Jim Harbaugh or Josh McDaniels, which I think both would be pretty good options. I don't know that Josh leaves the Patriots. I think that's his job, but Jim Harbaugh move would be interesting. I think he's a great coach. Been to a Super Bowl, was in 2 conference championship games, 2 others besides the one he won. I think he would be the good move, and I think they should do that. Bring him to Las Vegas. They fired Mayock, so the Raiders are looking to rebuild. Not necessarily rebuild, just they just want to reset. New GM, new head coach, new quarterback, and I think Jim Harbaugh could be the guy for the job. Oh yeah, the Colts defensive coordinator Eberflus is the Bears' new head coach, which sucks because it's going to hurt Justin Fields, because Eberflus is going to bring in an offensive coordinator, and if everything is great, he's going to be successful, which means Fields will be successful, which means that the offensive coordinator is going to leave Fields, So teams with young quarterbacks should generally try to get offensive-minded head coaches for that reason. So if everything works out, everything stays in that building, and when it doesn't, then you have situations like Daboll and Bieniemy, KC, and Buffalo, whereas Andy Reid is the guy, but Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator, and now both of those guys are being interviewed for jobs. Big Ben officially retired today. Week 17, we all knew was going to happen. So this is just like, putting it out there officially. He had a good career. He had some questionable things early in his career, but the Super Bowls and stuff. Yeah, Big Ben, he's gone from the league. The Steelers now have to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. I love Dwayne Haskins. I'd love to see him get a chance, but if they don't do that, I completely understand why. Especially if Dwayne Haskins isn't taking it as seriously as he should, which has been some of the early reports. But you never know. The Steelers will now have to figure out what to do. Let's see. What else is going on here? Let's see. Jeff Fisher is going to coach in the USFL. So, that team will be 500. The Saints requested interviews with Byron Leftwich. Good. Let's steal him away. That would be pretty great. And Dennis Allen is someone they're also trying to get, which I would love to have Dennis Allen be the coach. But you never know what can happen. Vic Fangio is going to be the defensive coordinator for their coaching vacancy, or the Jaguars coaching vacancy. Fangio interviews for it. I don't think that's a good move. Dan Quinn is going to stay with the Cowboys. I think there's some kind of I think they're going to try to get Dan Quinn as the coach there. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so NFC Championship, AFC Championship this weekend. We'll see who wins those. Like I said, I want the Bengals to win, but you never really know what can happen. That's why they play the games. So a little bit of a shorter episode this time. It's cool, we both got to get back into the swing of things. Got to get back to recording. Got to get back to watching me, seeing all this stuff. Lights, camera, action, all that. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you still watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Have a blessed day. I hope you're successful in whatever it is that you want to do in your life, and whatever it is you plan to do today. Like I said, we're going to be on all platforms soon, so don't forget about that. Yeah, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.